So, in the hotel business, the difference often between an average hotel associate and a great hotel associate is pretty simple a lot of times. And the way I boil it down to is just that little tiny bit extra. Guest comes up, asks for a key. I lost my key. All right, so you got to check their ID, of course, security purposes in the hotel. So number one rule in the hotel, you can't give them a key unless their name matches to the reservation, regardless of their story and what they need and stuff like that. It's a security function. And if you're in the hotel business and you've done that, don't do that. You never know what could happen. So, got to check ID. As you're checking ID, yes, Mr. Jones, absolutely. Now, here's the thing. The average front desk worker will say, sure, can I see your ID? And they'll make him a key, and they might smile a little bit. But here's what the great one will do. Absolutely, Mr. Jones, I'll be happy to make you a key. It'd be my pleasure to do so. Sorry that you lost your key. So right then and there, you've expressed you're happy to be of service. You want to build that perception in the hotel business and teach your employees how to build that perception. That's important because that's the whole name of the game. You want them to perceive you as wonderful. You want to delight them with service. They're paying for a service. A lot of times people stay in hotel business for a multitude of reasons, and they expect to be treated well because they're paying a lot of money to sleep in a bed. So, that's how I always try to explain it to people in the hotel business. Put yourself in their shoes. If you were paying $400 or $500 a night, whatever it is, the least we can do is be nice to them. Wouldn't you want people to be nice to you? So, with all that being said, you want their experience to be a great experience overall in every aspect. So, the next step with that whole interaction would be, as I'm making the key, as you're doing a mundane process, like putting a key on an encoder, there's that brief moment where you can engage in conversation, which is, another thing in the hotel business that is a fundamental thing, or should be. And, they to warmly take care of the guests, engage, inquire into how their day is going, how their stay is going. So I'm just going to engage like that, say something like that, and that'll give you the opportunity to overturn any objection or problem, or offer additional assistance, or offer them something fun to do, or just see how everything's going. Just connect with them. That's what it's all about, connecting with them. So I'll say something like, as I'm making the key like this, so Mr. Jones, how's the stay going? Oh, that's great. Oh, I'm so glad you're enjoying it. That's awesome. Well, if you need anything, and I hand him the key, my name's Andrew. Again, a lot of it is you building a rapport and just letting them know you got their back. You're here for them. So my name's Andrew. If you need anything at all, Mr. Jones, I'm here all day. I'll be here tomorrow. I'll be here all week. I know you're here for the whole week. And if they're the kind of guest that wants to chat a bit and they're hanging and there's no one else behind me, so you got to be flexible into recognizing each situation and what situation you're in and what the guest wants. You got to recognize that. But I'll kind of say something if I can sense that they want to chat a bit more, if they want to, if I think that I may be able to offer them something fun to do if I know that they're into something. Are you going hiking? Oh, Mr. Jones, did you check out the rim trail over here in Snowmass, Colorado? You'll be able to see the whole town. All you got to do is go right down there. So I know you're heading over that direction. So when you come back, you can just go down lot number 9, walk down the steps, and check it out. It'll be wonderful. You get some great pictures. And then to tie it all in together, what I like to say is tie the ribbon with the bow when you can. Mr. Jones, when you come back, let me know how it went. I'm interested to see. And then they'll feel a sense of, appreciation. They'll feel like you care about them. They'll feel like that they're, not just another number. And then when they do come back later, Mr. Jones, good to see you. Everything good? Did you have a good time? Can I get you a bottle of water or anything? That's it. Those type of things, if you do that, and if you teach the workers to do that, then you're doing what you call building your pipeline of tens. And through my whole career, all my general managers have liked me regardless of what position I was in, front desk agent, housekeeping management, front desk supervisor, assistant manager, front office manager, director of operations, director of rooms, all those jobs that I've had, corporate jobs. At any turn, at any interaction, whether it's me interacting with the guests or some of my associates that I know what they did for the guests, I was always able to tell my general manager, regional manager, vice president of the region, guess what? Don't worry. We got some tens coming in on the survey. Everything's going to be all right. Scores are going to be good. Trust me. Wait till these people get home. This weekend was great. All the guests that left today or this weekend had a great time. I mean, it was just spot on guest experience all weekend long. We had the details carried out. This is how I ensured it. This is what I saw. This is what I observed. I know that at least some of these people are going to fill out the survey because you need to impress. Each employee needs to impress every single guest, but you really need to. I guess specifically when I was a front desk agent, I got my name mentioned on a survey 20 times a month consistently, just because I put that heart into the hospitality, like that example I just gave you, Mr. Jones, that little bit of extra. So if you do that consistently, if you get each person to do that consistently, especially at the front desk, you will control your odds a lot better because probably only 16%, 10 to 20% of people that get a survey will fill it out. So if you, what I like to say is kill it with 20 people, 30 people each night, maybe only one or two of those people will fill out a survey. But that's all you need. You need one or two tens a day coming in, rolling in for you and for each person to consistently be offsetting any poor scores or negative scores, because there's going to be uncontrollables. There's going to be, as you know, if you're in the hotel business or whatever business you're in, you have emergency situations. You have the heat didn't work in a guest room. You have the guest was allergic to the food. You have the guest was, you hit their card and authorization for you messed up their debit card account because they didn't realize that they didn't have X amount of money in their account. Even though it's not your fault, you're not going to get a great score from the guest because that was their experience. And that's okay. Take that on the chin. No worries. Get that, you're going to get some bad scores. And remind the associates that they're not going to be perfect. I mean, I always tell people, I got some lower scores just because you can't be perfect. And you try to be. You try to offer each guest a great experience, but what it comes down to is just offer the best experience you can to each and every guest. And when things are good with the guests, those are the people that you can pump, and for lack of better words, that you can grease the skids on that. If someone's happy, sometimes I'll do something like send an amenity up to them. If it's someone's birthday, or if someone's just having a great time here and they're a nice person, they just really appreciate staying here and they've been staying here for a week, and I think they're spending a week's worth of money, they're here with their family, let me send them up a family amenity. Let me send them up, they're here for their a girls outing, let me send them up a wine or some champagne if they're celebrating an anniversary. Or even if they're not, even if they're here just to get a staycation people, if you have that kind of guest that stays with you, they're very easy to get great scores from. You just got to show them a great experience because they're there for a hotel experience. That's what I said before. Just know your data, know who's going to fill out the survey, and you have to increase the chances that they will fill out a survey, because it's not enough oftentimes for them just to be happy. You need to make them deliriously happy. And you have to teach the associates how to do that. And you do that by arming them with different items like guest of the day cards, letting them send amenities to whoever they want to within budgetary reason. And, we had a raffle that we did. When you do one thing, how can you make it the best enhancement that you can make? For instance, we had a loyalty reception where our elite members we invited for a wine and cheese reception. Well, how can you make it into more of an event, more of an experience? We put on a raffle, and we had multiple winners. We had some big prizes: $200 massage, $100 dinner, full buffet breakfast, free room service, pick your amenity. We had a lot of those kind of things, but then we had simple stuff like bonus points. So, and we emailed every single guest. Thank you for coming to the raffle or the reception. We appreciate you coming here. That's the difference between you. If you're going to do something, do it big, do it right, and make sure you connect with the people that you've done nice things for. Make sure you have their email address on the reservation. That's the biggest thing. When I started doing this business, I found out that the workers weren't adding emails, and if we're doing all these nice things for the guests, not that what's the point, because a lot of times you do it for the love of the game, but if they can't get a survey, the only thing they can help you on is like TripAdvisor. So first and foremost, you got to make sure the workers are getting emails, and you got to check that. You got to be on top of that. That's the biggest thing. But we also did we did the raffle, and we called the guests. So that night, and we told them how it's going to go. When they first came into the reception, hey, Mr. Jones, thanks for joining us. We appreciate it. Here's what we got going on. We got wine and cheese. We got this out here. You can relax out here. The servers will bring you whatever you may need. Feel free to bring your kids and family, down with you. I don't know if they're in the room or if they're coming down, but it's for your whole family since you're a platinum member or whatever, or gold member. And then here, if you could sign in, Mr. Jones, want to have you fill this out because we're going to enter you in the raffle. You might win, Mr. Jones, and then we'll call the winners that night. And we'll involve the rest of the team. We involved our concierge team. We made them feel important. And we did something where we paid the associates if the guests mentioned their name on the survey. So everything is two-turn. You help the guest, but you make the employee feel good, and you give the employee a chance to succeed and do well, because the better they feel, the more they're going to put more heart into it. Because you may have the biggest heart into the game, but you have to increase the likelihood that they're going to put more on the line, do more than calls for. So with that is, we paid them $10, $15. Some of the hotels fluctuated between what the general managers wanted to pay. Some even paid $25, some paid $5 every time they got their name mentioned on the survey. So I would remind the associates, like, hey, Billy, I want you to call these guests for me. We need your help. Here's the script I want you to say, about the raffle. Hey, Mr. Jones, it's Billy at the concierge desk. Just wanted to thank you for joining us. I have a bit of good news for you. You've won the raffle today, so I have an option for you. And we always gave an option for top 5 winners with what they wanted, whether it was a spa certificate for $100, $200, depending upon a couple variables, or dinner, or breakfast, or points. A lot of people wanted the points because they couldn't use the massage or the breakfast, or their company pays for the breakfast and stuff like that. So that's why we always give people the options. And then I reminded Billy before he made that call. I said, Billy, remember, it's $25 a name mention. It's $15 a name mention. So let's get that money, Billy, and let's make those guests feel good. So you're giving them a mission of importance, but you're also letting them know that, hey, you can make some money at this too, and everybody wins. It's a win-win situation. If a few people mention Billy in a survey and give it a 10 on the survey, that's all you can ask for, even if it's just a couple. So you want to get everyone to chip in. But back to the pipeline of 10s and building that and instilling that, you should be able to ask any of your associates, and I'm speaking to senior managers or department managers or even supervisors, and all staff members, really. Everyone should have the confidence that if the guests that you interacted with at the front desk or at a restaurant or in banquets or whatever, whenever they encountered that experience with them, they should have the confidence that a lot of those people will fill out 10s because they provided such great service and the guest is so delighted in the service that was provided. They're going to fill out 10s. So if you can get even a few people at the front desk to be locked in and and put that willful effort and heart into that mission, that will give you a leg up, and that will give you a chance to succeed, on the customer service scores. But you really need everyone. You need the housekeepers. You need everyone to be impressive. And I think a lot of people would learn a lot of things from if they went to Thailand and stayed at some of the hotel, because the people are very happy to be of service here, more so than I've seen in any other country or any place in the U.S. And not to say anything bad about the U.S., but not everyone's as focused as they need to be. And in Thailand, I've seen that they're extremely focused and happy to be of service, and that's what you want your employees to exude, and that's how you want them to be perceived from the guests. And so I guess a lot of it too is teaching the guest perception to the associates. There's different tricks of the trade in regards to guest perception, but see, a lot of times you might have an associate that puts in the willful effort, but if they can't be perceived as helpful, wonderful, warm, and friendly, which is required to get good scores, then they won't consistently get good scores, or their scores will be up and down. They'll get some mediocre scores, and they'll get some good scores, and they'll get some bad scores, and because the guests won't feel impressed, impacted. They won't feel as the associate was memorable, as their in turn experience wasn't as memorable. So what can you do to get them to understand? Well, you got to do a lot of teaching and training. You got to put some training impacts together. You got to impact them. You got to motivate them. But you got to teach them some different tricks of the trade. And just a couple of the tricks of the trade that I have, that I've taught some of my associates is, what the guest wants, and especially if you have the goods, if you have it, you got to play the situation up a little bit. You got to be perceived as the hero. How can you be perceived as the hero? Well, there's a lot of ways. And you do it in a nonchalant, non-salesy way, but you do it in a way that the guest is going to say, "Oh, wow, thank you, Andrew. That's nice of you. Wow, I appreciate that." Right? So, a couple examples here for you. Guest checks in early. It's 11 o'clock a.m. Everybody knows, for the most part, unless you're not a seasoned traveler, unless you're not focused or aware in general, that you can't check in at 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock in the morning at a busy hotel, or a hotel that generally sells out, especially if you have a suite booked or something like that. Most people know that. But there's some people don't too. So you got to know each person that you're encountering, and you got to play that situation right. So, but if I do have a guest that he or she just wants to pre-check in, right? They're going to a meeting, they're getting ready for a wedding, whatever the case may be. I'm going to use everything to my advantage, but first and foremost, I'm going to let the guests know that I'm going to take care of them. We're going to make it easy for them, and I'm going to set expectations. So, welcome, Mr. Jones. Nice to have you. Welcome, Ms. Jones. Welcome back, I should say. Good to see you back. I remember you from last time. Whatever situation you're in, the warm welcome is the key part. And then say, how was the trip in? Okay, great. Like, as they're putting all their stuff down, right? So as they put all their stuff down, great. So Ms. Jones, I'll be glad to pre-check you in. Just need, if I may see, an ID and credit card. It's a little bit early in the day, as you know. It's 11 o'clock, but we're going to get you pre-checked in. We're going to do all the paperwork. We're going to knock all that out. So when the room is ready, I'll take your phone number down, and also I'll send you an email as soon as the room is ready. We'll get you checked in, but we'll do the check-in process now, so you don't have to worry about that later. So I've already put them at ease. I welcome them warmly. I put them at ease, and I let them know how we're going to help them, and we're going to try to do our best. Now, if the guest is a little bit on edge, I'm going to be a little bit more like, in what I'm going to do for them, but without promising anything. I'm going to say, well, Miss Jones, I'll do my best to get you in early. We were sold out last night. Give them a little information, but not too much information. We're sold out last night, so the rooms aren't quite ready yet. However, I will put you in the queue for early check-in. I will do my best. I'm not allowed to promise you anything for early check-in, but I'll do my absolute best to get you checked in before the 4 o'clock check-in time. or whatever time your check-in time is. So we'll do our best to get you checked in. We'll do all the paperwork. Again, I'm going to put them at ease. And I'll call you. I'll take your phone number down, and I'll call you as soon as it's ready. We can hold your luggage. You can use the Wi-Fi. You can use any of the hotel amenities. Use the pool, business center, and whatever amenities you have. Fitness center. I'll give you a key so you can make use of the whole facility. We have a hotel shuttle that will take you locally anywhere until the room is ready. This is what we have in the area to do. There's several restaurants. There's any tourism stuff. So you hit on all that. But you hit on all that as you're looking for the room and doing the whole check-in process. You say everything in stride, and you look up and you make eye contact in the whole 9 yards. But I'm still going to say that even if I know the room is ready. If I know the room is ready, I'm going to be a little bit more less explanatory, and I'm going to explain a little bit less. And I'm going to say, let me see what I can do. Now, if they're super worried, anyway, I'm always going to say, let me see what I can do for you, even if I know I don't have the room, or if I do have the room, because I want to come off helpful, that I've tried to help them, that I've exhausted all options, and I want to be perceived as the hero, and making them feel special, and that we went above and beyond to get them checked in, right? So if I know I have it in my pocket, if I know I have the goods, got the room ready, it's what they want, it's the room they booked. Or even if it's a nicer room that they booked, I'm going to use all that to my advantage. Miss Jones, good news. Got a nice, I was able to find a room for you. I moved a couple things around, and I'm able to get you checked in. Now, here's the other key part. I'm going to use whatever I can at my advantage to sprinkle in. The next part is to, since you're a platinum member or since you're a gold member, no charge for the early check-in. Or I'm going to say something like, yeah, no charge for the early check-in. Don't worry, I'll waive that. Because a lot of hotels charge for early check-in, but so I say that to the guests to put them at ease oftentimes. Really, even if we don't charge for early check-in, just so they know, because I want them to see the value in checking them in 4 hours early or whatever it is, because it is a value. We are doing them a favor, and then I'm also going to use to my advantage whatever they've. Like, because you're picking up, cues into what they're doing and their trip purpose. And if it's going to a wedding, I'd be like, Miss Jones, good news. I know you're going to a wedding, so I wanted to get you checked in. So I was able to move a couple things around, and I'm glad, because this way you can get all settled, throw your bags down, and start to relax, enjoy the resort, and then you can go to the wedding. You don't have to worry about checking in later. So I got you all set up, no charge for the early check-in, right? So after that, they're gonna, if you say it in that kind of tone or format, it doesn't have to be verbatim that, but if you say the gist of that, they're gonna be pretty much like, thanks, Andrew, appreciate that. That was nice of you. You've helped me a lot, And then I'm gonna continue to help them. I'm gonna be like, so I'm gonna get you all set up. I'm gonna make the keys here for you. I got you a nice room. It's on the top floor, so it'll be nice and quiet. Because I'm gonna paint the picture of how I've set them up for success, right? I'm gonna use whatever I can to my advantage. This way your family will be comfortable, since it'll be nice and quiet in the I got you a corner room over there, or I got you the top floor since you're a platinum member, or I got you a little bit larger of a room on a quiet location with a view of the ski slopes and the mountains, so that way you can go on the balcony and get some good pictures and stuff. I know it's your first time to Colorado, so I wanted to set you up for success. So those little sprinkle in of personalization where it shows that you're helpful, warm, friendly, in a sincere way, in a non-salesy way, in a very nonchalant, matter-of-fact way of what you've done for them, because you're just trying to build the perception of the guest of you took wonderful care of them. That's what you want. You want them to perceive you as such, and teach your associates how to do that. And it's the same thing with offering a guest a late checkout. Letting them use your hotel amenities past 2 o'clock, past checkout time. Letting them use the spa services for the shower, to shower after they hit the ski slopes or hiking, before they go get on their plane. Offering them a bottle of water after they stayed for a week before they go on the shuttle. Having the shuttle drivers do something out of the norm, like have some tea and Coca-Cola in the van to offer the guests on the way to the airport, or offering them a hot tea or coffee. Just offering them something that doesn't cost any, a little bit like that much money, but the guests won't be expecting it, so they'll be like, "Oh, thank you so much, I appreciate that." So that's what it's all about. Just increase the chances, increase the skids on each guest as much as you can, especially if they're having a good time. It ensures that they'll go home and fill out the survey. They're not going to fill out a survey if they're just, a positive survey if it's an average stay or a mediocre stay. You're not going to get a great score, generally from that, unless they're a saint or a great person and you get lucky. And sometimes you do get lucky, but it's not a sustainable model to achieve high levels of success on guest satisfaction. And then watch your associates and observe how they're doing. I was in a meeting one time, and it was a guest satisfaction meeting, and the front office manager said, "Well, we're doing everything we can for guest loyalty." And I said, "Well, how are they demonstrating that they appreciate the guests? Are they saying, like, in a sincere way, like, Miss Jones, I see you've stayed here 4 times. Thanks for coming back. I see you stayed here a lot of times with the brand. Just wanted to say thank you for that, and we appreciate your loyalty. So again, thank you for that." Are they going Are they putting a little extra into that? And sometimes less is more. But are they trying to connect with the guest in a way that sincerely thanking them for their loyalty? And my manager at the time, this was when I was in housekeeping, running housekeeping. My general manager pretty much was like, "We got to get you back in the front. We got to get you in the front office," because he knew that that's what he wants. And it's all about connecting with each and every guest. So ensure your associates are building their pipeline of 10s. And you have meetings and you talk about this, and you talk at the resume meetings about the groups coming in, about what's going to transpire, about what kind of groups you're going to have in, what time everyone's checking, what time everyone's checking out, what's the group going to be doing, how is the group going to impact the other guests, what can you do to ensure that the group has a great time. What has the meeting planner been saying about the group? What do you need to do as a team at each step? All right, so they're going to be in this banquet at this time. Okay, so are we ready for that? Are they checking in at this time? Do we have extra staff on? Do we have extra bellmen on? Because you want everything to be smooth, without any surprises, without the guests can't ever see. There can't ever be a long line at the desk. There can't ever be the guests waiting, frustrated, any of that stuff. So you have to be assertive and play the offense and anticipate what is going to happen and err on the side of caution. But you set your operation up to execute properly to where no matter what happens, you're going to offer the best experience possible. And you may have to be creative in doing so. If it's a huge check-in, if you know the group's checking in with 400 rooms and it's a heavy turn, meaning there's 300 departures and the group expectation is to get checked in early, 2 o'clock, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, whatever it is, you may not be able to check everyone in early, but you can't not check people in early because and you do your best to set the expectations through the meeting planner with that. But still, people want what they want, and you have to try your best to reach those expectations and exceed expectations. And so you may need to get the sales managers involved to strip rooms, to help the housekeepers. You may need to get some people to help clean rooms. You may need extra valet drivers, bellmen. You may need extra front desk agents. You may need more lobby ambassadors, people in the lobby just welcoming people, holding luggage, and that kind of thing. It's a big team effort. Every day is different, and you need to be on edge about that. That's the biggest thing. You're only going to get good scores if each day and each guest is a successful interaction. It all comes down to each and every interaction with the guest. If you win each interaction, if each associate wins the interaction, meaning the perception of the interaction was a positive way where they perceived the person helping them as warm, friendly, helpful, sincere, nice, made it easy for them, then you're going to get good scores. Unless something crazy happens to them, like you check them into a dirty room or something. If the room wasn't clean, or if there was, someone's dirty underwear in the drawer or the closet. Unless something crazy happens like that, you're going to get good scores. But the only way you can ensure that each and every interaction is positive is if you build your morale, your associate morale. You increase you have everyone focused. You increase the chances by strategically putting surprise and delight features in place, with arming your associates with more in their arsenal to please the guests and to be mindfully thinking about that. But you meet and you plan, and you don't have any surprises for your associates. You communicate what's going to happen for them, to them, of what time the group's going to check in, so they're ready and they're focused and they're ready to win the game and win the day and win the interaction. So you say to the associates at the pre-shift, guys, there's going to be 300 arrivals. Here's what time they're coming in. Here's what they're going to be doing. They're going to check in, then they're going to a meeting. They know, and then you keep you keep everyone informed, but you keep them kind of calm and poised, guys. But remember, they know they're not going to. They know check-in time's at 4. However, some people would like to check in early, but we have to manage expectations. So let them know the game plan. Let them know in a very calm way. Here's what's going to happen. We're going to get you checked in, pre-checked in, get your phone number down, and call you as soon as the room is ready. I know you're going to your meeting. Your meeting's right over here. So what everyone's been doing is pre-checking in, holding the luggage, going to the meeting, and then coming by after the meeting to get their luggage. We'll send the luggage up to the room if you'd like, if you feel comfortable with that, or we can hold it here. What would be better for you, Mr. Jones? But we're going to do our best to get you checked in early. Is that all right, Mr. Jones? So you've connected with the guests. You've let them know what's going to happen, because the worst thing you could do is not let them know the game plan and have them wondering. You pre-check them in. You don't inform them of the game plan. You don't manage expectations, and then they're waiting and they're wondering why they can't get checked in, and then they talk amongst the other group as to, I don't know why my room's not ready. Oh, your room's ready? Why is your room ready? My room's not ready. So you just got to play the offense in a lot of ways. But yeah, run the pre-shift. If you are a manager, appreciate your employees. Let them know that they're doing well. If they do well on a survey, give them some love. Let them know, hey, great job. And even if you're not that person's manager, or if you're another person's supervisor and you see someone else do well in a different department in the restaurant or in the housekeeping, give them a high five. Make them feel good. If someone's doing a good job, thank you so much. That's what it's all about. They're a godsend, because that's what you want. If you can consistently get them to do well, you build the culture. You build a winning culture if you can get everyone operating to that level. You can't do it all. Not one person can do it all. That's a big thing that I learned in my hotel career, that you need everyone operating on one accord. You need all the details carried out to succeed, for the hotel to succeed, for the guest experience to be a wonderful one, a delightful one. The other thing that we did, and again, we reminded the associates we're going to pay them if they get their name mentioned in a positive, mindset. Guests that are, as we like to call, in our pocket. Guests that are in our pocket is what I like to say is guests that are just having a tremendous experience. We connected with them. They're deliriously happy. They're having a wonderful time. They love the hotel. They love their room. They love the location. They love being on the mountain skiing. They love being in the heart of the desert, and they have all this, whatever location you're in, if a guest is in your pocket, someone that's basically expressed to you how wonderful a time, or someone that increase the chances that they'll fill out a survey. So what we did was we made it a standard for each associate, and we challenged the managers to do this too, to connect with 5 guests per day. Personalized service. So with that being said, you set a reminder in your email for when those guests depart. Send that particular person that connects with them, send them an email to say, hey, thank you so much for staying with us, Mr. Jones. It was nice chatting with you. And then you sprinkle in some, and there's all these kind of things. I can send you formats and scripts for all these kind of things. I mean, I really have a ton of things, of tools in my arsenal over the course of 15 years of creating initiatives that I can share with you. But you send a basic format email that says, hey, Mr. Jones, thank you so much for staying with us. It was nice to connect with you, meet you during your stay. It was nice to chat with you about the Sixers. I'm excited about Tobias Harris too. Whatever you connected with that guest with, you can sprinkle in that personalization. You can just say, hey, I just want to let you know next time you do stay with us, let me know when you're coming back. I'll make sure you get that room that you like in the corner, or I'll do my best to get you the best possible room, or that, and then you sprinkle in about the survey. But hey, if you do get a survey, you may receive it in your email in the next 24 to 48 hours. We'll appreciate you very much if you do receive that. So, and that kind of brings me to another point. Make sure your employees have fun, and make sure you have fun, because it is a fun industry. And this applies to any job that you're doing. So if you're watching this and you're not in the hotel business, you're in the restaurant business, you can kind of, it's very similar. A lot of these businesses, retail, whatever, you can draw the comparisons and you can apply it for your job. Just in a little bit different of a format, but I'll say to a guest all the time, Mr. Jones, you may receive a survey. If you do get it, appreciate you forever if you fill it out. You can say that. A lot of large management companies like Marriott, Hilton, just in general, like almost every large hotel company doesn't want you to, and it's tacky to ask for a positive score, so you're not allowed to do that. But you can say, like, we'll appreciate your feedback. Like, that will be nice, if we can hear how your stay was. But it's the way you say it, and it's true. We need their feedback. We need more surveys, because the more surveys you have, the better chances you have at positive feedback. And in general, you want that feedback, positive or negative, because you use the negative feedback to improve. And use the positive feedback to reinforce and reward the associates and make them feel good, and just kind of repeat those behaviors and have some momentum. And it never ends. That's a relentless momentum that you need to you always need to be building those pipeline of 10s at all times. Every day is about going for 10-level service and to be delighting guests at every turn so that they'll fill out positive reviews for you. That's what it's all about. So with that being said, and then do stuff like to create a winning culture. Each department should have a guest service board, and I can send you pictures of brilliant guest service boards that some of my associates have created over the years and that I've helped to create. And but basically, it comes down to you put the scores up. It's a communication board of how the team's doing. Put the scores up. You put your goals up. You constantly reiterate your goals, and you put your strategies, and you put your focuses, and you put your specific platinum score, gold score, silver score. So the employees are, and you celebrate the success. Hey guys, no one's better than us at platinum scores. We had the best platinum score in North America in November 2018. And that's a time where you say to the team, guys, no one's better than us at treating the platinum members. We're the best, number one in the world. Look at this. That's amazing. Celebrate that success, make the team feel good. It's a good bonding thing. And, it's just something that as a team, if you celebrate and feel good, you're going to continue those winning ways. And set that bar high, the level of excellence, set it high, set the expectations for this is what we do. It's kind of like sports, when you're winning, it's contagious. You make winning plays, and you have a winning environment, and it's just contagious. All of a sudden, someone that used to not be a winner, when they're in a winning environment, they're making winning plays. They're making the right play. They're not making a selfish play. And you get everybody on one accord, and you celebrate this at every turn, your department meetings, and you put your hotel meetings, and you put all this information on a board in each department of the top performers, top check-in scores, top checkout scores, most name mentions, recent surveys. Print out the surveys, show the associates, write their name on it, say thank you to them. Introduce them to the general manager when the regional comes in. Hey, this is Billy. Billy's our top performer. He's got our best check-in score. Do that all the time. It's so simple, and it makes people feel good. And it's as simple as saying, look at them, and giving them some love, and on a scale where they're impressing someone in a higher position, and you're helping them look in a good light. And in turn, they will work harder for you, and they will repeat those behaviors because they want that to continue. And it's true, we want it to continue so everyone wins. And you reward them for that top performance whenever you can.